There wasn't that organization that we're used to seeing in various right-wing protests. But yesterday, it ended up surprising all of Brazil. The number of people who joined the march in favor of amnesty, in favor of the freedom of these hostages, prisoners, political prisoners who are here in Brazil. I'm going to show several images here because it already starts. An initiative and a solution that can help a lot, and all of us can make a difference. I'm going to show everything here. It was amazing. The regime saw that with all of this that's coming up in the next few days, there's going to be a big reaction. I'm going to show everything here. Hit the like button, come be part of our family, and while you're at it, subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on being part of our team. Yeah, I don't want to show you the ones from hell here. It helped me lose 18 kilos. 18 kilos, I think I even lost more. I'm going to the pharmacy tomorrow. I prefer weighing myself in the morning, right? So I always weigh myself around the same time. I think it's been about 25 days since I last weighed myself. I had lost 18 kilos the last time I checked. Slim is used, my friends, so we can burn fat. So sometimes we have a problem with being overweight, and dieting on your own, by yourself, is very difficult. There's always a yo-yo effect. We lose weight, then regain it, over and over, with Slim. It's not super simple. There's the little bottle here, the little sachet. There are several of them here, in this box for you to do the treatment. You put it in the water. Look, I'll show you each time. People ask, show how it's done. Fabiano Giguet here put it in. Here, it's a little powder. It's like... How do you say that? Zeno. But just so you get an idea, it's effervescent. That's why I'm saying this. You stirred it here, right? It tastes like orange juice. Delicious, see? Really good. And do the treatment, and then you do the treatment, then you'll do the treatment, then you'll do the treatment. I saved it to do here to show you. It's delicious. It's delicious. Very refreshing. It tastes like orange juice, you know, that tang juice. Even tastier. And it really helps. It really helps. Because sometimes we have that greasy meal, right? And we end up gaining a little weight, especially on the weekends, right? My friends, so it helps a lot. Slim Ferv helped me lose 18 kilos, and it will definitely help you too. The link is right here below, for anyone who wants the opportunity to lose weight in a healthy way. None of those injections here and there. Crazy stuff, right? Bringing health risks really isn't worth it. Slim Ferv, a great product for weight loss. Look here. Protesters march for amnesty on Paulista Avenue. This happened yesterday over in São Paulo. The demonstration for amnesty, called by Father Kelm and Senator Marcos Duval, took place on Paulista Avenue in São Paulo. It started at 1 o'clock. Among the political figures were President Bolsonaro's brother, Renato, the deputy mayor of São Paulo, Colonel Melo Araújo, City Councilwoman Sonaira Fernandes from the capital, Marina Braga, and also Father Kelm himself. Several allies as well. The mobilization had been called by the organizers on social media and really ended up surprising everyone with the images. My friends, look, a lot of people gathered at this event.
Kill Bolsonaro.
No one was expecting this huge number. Congressman Marcos Bolão also discussed São Paulo. The greatest joy I had here today was meeting some women who greeted me and called me Polão. I remember you at Colmaia. I remember when you were there. Sadly, this reminds me of one of the saddest moments of my life, witnessing innocent people.
Patriots inside Papura and Colmaia, but do you know what hurt me most? When I went there, the people, weakened, looked at me and said, "Congressman, take this message to the president. We don't want him to give up."
That was really amazing, wasn't it? Several people here are also showing Marina Helena. Look here, broad, general, and restricted amnesty. That's what needs to be done in every city in this country. I need to remind everyone here every day, we are not the majority. If we get organized, we can shut everything down. They won't know how to react. Lula is a guy who can't go anywhere at all. Look at the number here. Look at this. This is really impressive. The march in favor of amnesty. If we do this, as I said, in every place here in our country, the game changes with horn-honking protests. With all these situations,
Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us our daily bread. Today, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And do not let us fall into temptation, but deliver us from all evil. Amen, so be it.
the lesson was truly huge. The amnesty has already covered several parts of the city of São Paulo. A gigantic crowd, already the amnesty. All these barbarities that we are witnessing here in our country, the most indecent, provocative things for every honest citizen. These things, this has to come to an end. No one can stand so many lies being put into each of our lives anymore. And these people thinking that the people won't react at any moment, it's unbelievable. Their nerve, but it was expected, right? Because we're seeing the greatest political leader of this country suffering one of the greatest injustices, right? That we've ever heard of here in our country here, because things have become very clear in the last few years. They needed absolutely every kind of negative reaction. They needed to show up and announce themselves, right, my friends? In the past, we used to see the most absurd things happen, but many times they would stay quiet. They wouldn't express themselves. There's no way around it, and this situation can't be undone or reversed. Do you see President Bolsonaro trapped in such a cruel situation? A man who did absolutely nothing. And these people who ended up going through all this injustice, it's just too cruel. It's just too cruel. He even says that many times here, the regime is even worse than in Venezuela. Even worse than in Venezuela. Because, as I said, they had to expose themselves and do absolutely every kind of evil all at once. Look at this one. Let's see how app delivery workers behave. All they talk about here is regulation, regulation, regulation. Lula is already preparing an offensive to regulate delivery apps. It's just that we say he's going to try to take every cent from every Brazilian to leave people in total misery. Delivery workers. Today, you can make a really good salary, but Lula can't stand to see anyone prosper because soon he and Yanya will want to take it away, right? Lula set up a technical working group to analyze and propose solutions regarding the working conditions of app delivery workers. The initiative, with the ordinance signed by Guilherme Boulos. Look who's doing this. Luis Marinho, Geraldo Alckmin. It was published on Friday. That was the only information released. Do you think this wicked guy here would miss the opportunity? The group will be responsible for coming up with proposals to promote and ensure decent work. In other words, they propose all this, but of course it's going to be at the workers' expense. So, rides will get more expensive, and there will be fewer opportunities because people tend to shop less often and even look for this kind of service less. And what will happen? The few who remain will be forced to pay for the party of this guy who has practically never worked a day in his life, right? Look at that. Decent work for the platform workers, an issue that also directly affects consumers and companies in the sector. Everything they regulate gets much more expensive, and sometimes it doesn't even need to be regulated for it to get more expensive. Same way. Have you seen your electricity bill? Since that guy took office, look at how much more expensive it got. It's not just politicians. We also have to support businessmen who are allied with the regime, like the Josley brothers. To form this working group, they call it a working group with Boulos and Luis Marinho, the Minister of Labor. Oh my God. The government included 10 regional delivery worker representatives from the Southeast, government, Northeast, and South. What do? They gather the pseudo-leaders from those places and pretend that these people represent all those workers. Of course those people will benefit. So then they lie in the name of people who don't even know what's going on right in front of everyone, just to make it obvious to everyone. No, look, it was with the support of the employees, but it's that representative. It's just the same. China does it. China knows there are a lot of corrupt people, right? And what about them, as the ones who corrupt? They're not going to pay everyone they need to push their ideas and their most nefarious ideals. They go to the so-called leaders. It's more or less what Partido dos Trabajadores, this misgovernment, is doing. So when they go to the so-called leaders, it gives the impression that everyone is in favor. I doubt it. I really do. That an app delivery worker will accept having to lower their earnings just to give money to these sellouts. Look, just imagine, and we know, when they come with taxes, when they come with regulations, things get extremely tough. The ordinance also requires the group to present a work plan within 15 days. It's quick, so they're desperate for money. A step considered crucial for Lula's Palacio do Planalto to guide negotiations with companies in the sector. So, look, it's just regulation, taxes, misery. Maires, whenever people complain, they mention Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro arrested in Papuda, always Bolsonaro. I don't know. If we don't do our part now, that's all they're going to do. I think it's a good time for Brazilian society to react in the face of so many absurd things we're witnessing. And over there in São Paulo, it's already started so much. Yeah, look here at the headline from Estadão. The Supreme Court is afraid of the attempt to limit the possibility of impeaching a minister. The Supreme Federal Court claims it must protect itself in the Senate election outcome, which is clearly absurd. The guys know that next year, the majority of senators will belong to the right. Imagine the atmosphere there, especially with people leaving and even Globo airing everything yesterday, right? I even showed it here. Share this video on WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, in the My Friends groups, and hit the like button here on our channel. Join our community on the platform and subscribe to the channel. Congrats to everyone who filled Paulista Avenue yesterday.